Judge sentences dad to 337 years in jail. And it's not nearly enough.
Before we continue with the rest of the video, we could use your help. Click that like button to help spread the word about watchJojo, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos.
For what this man did, he definitely deserves the 337 years behind bars. Everyone hates child molesters. Their victims are scarred for life, and many of them are able to get away with their crimes. Those who receive the justice that they deserved are lucky because for others it took such a long time. Christopher Cena, age 57, moved to the city to get away from his crimes. He raped and molested his children, his relatives, and even their family dog. In fact, he'd been doing this for part of a decade before evidence came out against him. Cena will be spending 337 years of his life in prison after he was charged 54 life terms for the crimes he committed. So by 2356, he'll still be behind bars. Well, of course, unless he dies first. One of his victims was his daughter, who's now 28 years old. She endured 14 years of sexual abuse from her father. She said in court, "I was just an object for him to do awful things to because there was no one there to tell him otherwise." This February, the jury found Christopher Cena guilty of the 95 counts of sexual assault with a minor, incest, and also of using a minor in the production of unacceptable evidence and lewdness with a minor. Christopher Cena was deemed the worst of the worst when compared to other predators and child molesters. His crimes were so insidious that he got his wife and ex-wife to be involved in the abuse. He was living with his wife and ex-wife in the same trailer where the abuse happened. He threatened to kill his victims if they ever spoke to others of what he did to them. When the truth finally came out, the SWAT team came to Cena's house to arrest him. This is also where they seized his recordings. His ex-wife Terry Cena and wife Deborah Cena pleaded guilty to their own crimes. This included counts of abuse. They were also sentenced to life in prison, but with a possibility of parole. Judge William Kephart, Clark County District Judge, cannot take how horrendous Cena's case was. He never experienced such brutality and graphic criminality his entire career. He even called Cena a highly selfish individual and possessing a very perverted mind. The judge made it clear to Cena that he'll never be eligible for parole until he served 337 years in prison. He was definitely given the worst of the worst when it comes to a life sentence. During the sentencing, the judge gave Cena a time to speak and somehow apologized to his victims. But this rapist and child molester proudly said, "No, I have nothing at this moment." As an example to those in Las Vegas who might be planning to follow on Cena's footsteps, the prosecutor wanted the judge to put Cena behind bars for as long as possible. What happened in Vegas stays in Vegas. But for this child molester, he'll never get away from such crimes he committed. It took a long time for justice to be served, but thankfully he's locked behind bars and will not be able to harm anyone again.